It's up to you, New York, New York.
You ever wake up and feel that you're destined for greatness?
Yes, sir.
Today is a good day, Mr. Idris Salam, aka Bosco from the Bronx. It's Richie. It's the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast, and we are kind of happy today.
I want a Sunday kind of love. Yes, we are. Today was a good day. Today is going to be a good day because yesterday was a great day for New York sports. Let's get with it.
Man, that sounded like the intro for Mace's comeback. New York Football Giants deal number 97, Dexter Lawrence, the man pictured behind me in the whiteout jersey. For the number 10 overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals offered up. I am a little surprised, Idris. I did not think that this trade was going to happen with a pick so high. I know that Dexy is a former All Pro and a perennial Pro Bowler when he was healthy, but after last year, I do believe that the Cincinnati Bengals, although they have made other defensive acquisitions this year, a little bit of a risk to not secure a top 10 player in college.
I agree because we both figured a second rounder maybe and a fifth or something like that. Um, I didn't expect the trade to be so soon, but then again, the draft is coming up right now. Also, I didn't expect Cincinnati to be the one to do it for that pick with the situation that defense had. And you give up a number 10 pick. Uh, I think we fleeced them, dude. I'm happy. I like Dexy. Good luck wherever he goes. But like John Harbaugh is showing, like, look, we're not going for no disruption. If you want to put this in the press, well, you can go.
And
And
Idris, ultimately, I think this comes down to the money aspect of it
yeah,
because, Cincinnati, part of this deal is that they're going to work on an immediate extension with Dexter. That's what he ultimately wanted.
they got it.
And
They got 25 million. They got it.
yeah, they'll be able to give him what he wants in order for him to be happy. We'll talk about the Bengals side of this, and then we'll flip it over to our Giants. They lost Trey Hendrickson in the offseason to a division rival. So it goes without saying that they needed to add a big player. Stopping the run
Yeah.
has never gone out of style. And when Dexy's healthy, he can do that. What's going to be interesting is that Dexy is going to have to acclimate to playing in a bit of a different defensive structure now, where you
Right.
might see a lot more of the 4-3 looks. He and former Giant, another former Dave Gettleman pick, BJ Hill, will be manning down the interior for
Right.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati also spent some money in free agency, adding some other defensive talent because I think it's safe to say over the last 3 years or so, no team has been ripped off with more potential wins than the Cincinnati Bengals because of their defensive ineptitude.
And see, that's why I'm kind of surprised. Hey, oh, but a side note, and I saw this somewhere else. So I'm not gonna take credit because someone might have said it before I did. But I see this as another. I see this as payback for Harbaugh to Baltimore. Send him to Cincinnati. Let Lamar Jackson have to deal with him. I don't
I
know.
mean, I am happy that, excuse me, I am happy that it is an AFC team because let's assume that similar to when Saquon went to Philly, let's
Yeah,
assume that the Bengals get the best version of Dexter Lawrence.
yeah.
We don't have to
That's the
deal
point
with
I'm
him
getting at.
like that.
But that's the
But
point I'm getting at. I'm getting at as is not nothing towards Dexy, but I'm thinking as a shot towards Baltimore. Like I'm gone, your guys fired me. Now you have to deal with Dexter Lawrence coming after your quarterback.
well, one thing I will say is that security does have a propensity for motivating players because when Saquon got the financial security from Philly, he really put himself out there all the way. You know, just a sensational season, possibly the best of any season for any running back. That's debatable, but it's up there and it's questioned. So
Hmm.
Dexy, I'm going to say this. I wish him well. I think when
Yeah,
he's right, he is still a premier defensive nose tackle, a defensive tackle. He is a premier level player when healthy. But after what I saw last year, I felt that there were certain games where Dexy was just kind of going through the motion.
yeah,
And
yeah,
quite frankly, when you have a new regime, and this is a Gettleman pick, you
yeah.
want to cut ties with anybody that's not buying in completely to what the new culture is trying to build. I do think the Bengals will be a better team for acquiring Dexy, but
Yeah.
truthfully, you said it off air. I'll repeat what you said. You said a second and a fourth maybe for him. It's not just so much that we got a first round pick; it's that we got a top 10 pick, and I think that's what in that regard just really has me gleaming with optimism and hope. Now, let's talk
Yeah.
about the Giants side of this. I've been doing a ton of mocks. I shared the where I do my drafting at, so you're going to be getting on that drafting. Of course, the draft is coming up ever so soon.
Yep.
It's good that this trade got done before the draft for a litany of reasons. I was 30 minutes late to finding this out yesterday because I was in the midst of biting my nails watching the end of that Knicks game, which we'll hit on. But when I got wind of it, shout out Jose R. He's the guy he's a Cowboy fan, but he's also a Knicks fan. He's a product of a kid that grew up in an era where
Yeah.
the Cowboys were that
Yeah.
everywhere. So, but he is a Yankee fan. He is a Knicks fan. Jose R. was the one that first shared this news with me, and I was pretty fired up. So, okay,
Yeah.
pick 5, pick 10, Idris Salam. In the event that Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles are both off the board when the Giants pick at 5, do you entertain possibly trading back? I don't know. Let's say the New Orleans Saints, 8. Let's say if they offer us 8 and 42. Are you
I'm
willing
taking
to
it.
trade back with the Saints?
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
the
taking it.
Saints are going to hone in on Jeremiah Love to pair him with Travis Etienne. Maybe the Saints are going to get an edge rusher. Maybe the Saints want Caleb Downs. Are you willing to take a chance of not hitting on Caleb Downs if you get
I'll,
multiple picks at 5?
I'm trading. I'm trading down 842. I'm trading down.
Because remember, 842, and you also got 37,
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trading down.
and you
More is
got
better.
10. You got
Yeah.
pick 10 as
Got
well.
10.
So
Right.
something to
Yeah.
consider. That's a trade that's been offered to me numerous times. The Cincinnati Bengals in previous drafts offered me that 10 pick. Obviously, the 10 pick is ours now. But what really impressed me is like within 20 minutes of this thing going down,
Yeah.
um, it already updated the Giants with the 10 pick in the mock drafts. The only thing that could hold this up is if Dexy fails a physical. I think that's important to note.
He already took it. Past that too.
Okay, thank you for that update.
Yep.
Appreciate
Yep.
that. All right, so it's official. We got the 10 pick. Idris, let's say Sonny Styles is there at 5. Do you pull the trigger and bring him in?
Yeah. I'm taking him. I got to get him. You got
All
to go
right.
get the best player. You got to get the best player. If he's there, I got him. He's got to come home. He's got to come to New York.
Now, pick 10. Are you doubling down on Ohio State talent if Caleb Downs is there? Or are you going Mansour Delane out of LSU, who has got the makeup of a
I'm
shutdown
going.
corner?
I'm going Mansour.
Well, you are a LSU fan, so I can understand
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, and he is a lockdown. That LSU defense have always been a team to get gashed, but he balled out. So I got to go get man. Yes, sir.
I got to say something funny here before we continue talking on this. You know, I love my stepdad, Eddie,
Yeah.
but Eddie keeps it kind of hot in the house. And sometimes when I visit my mother's house, I feel like I'm in the Caribbean. I feel
Dude,
like I'm in.
I know.
I
What,
feel
what, I,
like
what
I'm
I,
in Eddie's pop's house. Rest in peace, Tomas.
hey, when
He
I was
looked
down
like
there,
Marlon Brando. Eddie's pops looked like Marlon Brando. There was an elevator that would take me up to his
yeah.
level of the house. Always dressed to the nines. It didn't matter what the temperature was in Puerto Rico. Man was still
Yeah.
driving at 90 years old.
Oh wow, that's how I'm trying to be, man.
He was so nice with it that he was actually shaving
Yeah.
without a mirror. I said, no, no, Papa, I got you.
Well,
But,
he old
buddy,
school.
oh,
Yeah.
old school for real. When I came up the stairs and I saw the shoes and it was like you just saw him,
Yeah.
bro, I swear to you, I thought I was in part two of The Godfather. But,
I'm
but,
calling.
but the reason why I said this is like I noticed my shirt's kind of moving. Bro, it's hot
Yeah.
here in Florida. I'm in the back room here and
Dude, it's
I got this
cold.
power fan on and I'm saying, damn, I'm going to start bringing this fan to me when I go visit the parentals.
Look, dude, I don't mean to get off the subject, but dude, it's been like 79, 80, 85 degrees here. Today it's 49 degrees. What's
49
up, dude?
degrees.
49
Clearly I
degrees.
woke up clearly I woke up in the wrong state today. But back to the football.
I hate it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I like my seasons. That's the one thing I don't like about Florida. We only get 7, 8 weeks of winter. And that's on a good year. All right, back to this.
Yeah.
What I love about this, Idris, is
Hmm.
that it gives the Giants leverage
Right.
to trade back if they feel that they can really win this draft. You know, pick 37. Ideally, I would love to get a number two receiver opposite of
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors. I don't believe in drafting receivers high if you already have a bona fide number one.
Right. We
That
see that in
nothing against
whichever.
Carnell
Right.
Tate, nothing against Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson does have the injury history, so that does worry me
Right.
a little. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe Denzel Boston or Chris Brazel at a pick
Yeah.
37, possibly, or maybe you trade back a couple more spots if it's not Boston. I have a heavy liking for Boston because of his low percentage of drop passes. That's a very important thing at the pro level. And I also
Yeah.
like the measurables, you know, really tall
Uh-oh.
guy,
Hold on, Richie.
red
Hold on, Richie.
zone
Hold on,
trump
Richie.
card.
Hold on, Richie. My source. You know who my source is.
Yes, I do.
My source said the Giants are shopping Slayton.
What did I just say off air?
Yep. And you know.
Congratulations to Darius Slayton. However, off the field, he did recently get married. So congratulations to you, Darius.
Yeah, and you
But
know who my source is.
yes, I do. And your source has been hitting, so to speak.
Yep. Yeah, they're looking to shop him. We'll see what happens. You heard
I'm
it
going to
here on
say
the
this.
Richie Hicks Jr. Hello. You heard it here on the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. First, the Giants are shopping Darius Slayton. You might want to say clip this, Richie, so we can clip this.
Clip this.
The New York Giants are shopping Darius Slayton. You heard it here first on the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast on Sunday, April 19th at 1:47 p.m. The Giants are looking to trade Darius Slayton. All right.
And
Thank
with a
you.
tear in my eye. No. I was about to do the Ric Flair Royal Rumble speech. But I'm happy. I'm happy with what's going on. I think part of starting a new culture is you got to clean house. And listen, I'm not picking on Dexy. Dexy
Right.
had a lot of good years in blue, but the
Yeah.
bottom line is you don't want guys that don't want to be there. He's going to be a good player for Cincinnati. Do I
Oh, yeah.
think that he'll ever be an all-pro again? I'm not sure. But I am happy that he's out of the division, out of the conference as well.
Right.
And I really do believe that Coach Harbaugh now has a lot to shop with, so to speak.
Yes. I like his moves, man. And like the thing with the Dexy situation, I don't know if you know, I don't know if the news stated, but it's pretty much the situation. Everything was fine until he let it get outside of the family. Everything was cool within, like, okay, we know you want out, da 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 da. Let's work this out. When he put it out there and took it from in house to out of the house, that's when they were done with it. That's what that's from my source. That's what did it for them when he took it outside the locker room, took it outside the Giants family. That was it.
Just bear with me, Idris. I'm trying to
Oh yeah,
figure
okay.
out what happened with
No,
my
no.
headphones.
Well, I'll
All
just
right,
keep
we're
on talking.
connected again. I said there's no way the
Oh,
battery died on these things. There you go.
okay, but
Now I can put
that's
my
from
fan back on because
that's from my source also. Everything was fine until he started talking to he let everything get out. So
yeah, Dexy got what he wanted. Bottom line, Dexy
yeah,
got what he wanted. I think the New York Giants deep down got what they wanted as well because you're able to get a little more money now.
hmm,
Cincinnati takes over the old contract and they're going to work on extending years to what he's got going to make it make sense for them. And
yeah,
I will say this I do expect the Bengals to have a much improved season outcome because of the fact that they have added defensive talent. It's not just Dexter Lawrence. They did
right,
their due diligence in free agency. Now I'm curious to see if the Bengals are going to be serious about fixing that offensive line for quarterback Joe Burrow. So, of course, we're going to find out if that comes to fruition. Giants possibly shopping Slayton. Interesting there. And I mean, there's only so much room, because there are a lot of really good wide receivers in this draft. And I'm not just
yeah,
talking about the top tier guys. I'm talking about mid-level picks, guys that can
yeah,
really help a team.
yeah, exactly. It's the last guy um from Gettleman's draft.
That
He's the
is
last.
correct.
He's the
That
last
is
one.
correct. That is
So
correct.
that might be, you know, I need to holler at my source, but that might be why. That might be the other reason why they're shopping them too. They're like, look, let's clean house, let's start over, let's put my men in here, because you said
Well,
it yourself.
I think Dexy, and I personally think Dexy made it rather easy. Of course, Slayton. Listen, I was not a fan of the monies that were spent there.
No, he was a number
I'm
two.
over here thinking to myself, if Joe Shane is dead man walking, and they're gonna go get rid of his
It,
ass right after the draft.
you know something that crossed my mind, dude, because there's a lot of stuff going on, man, and these don't look like Joe Shane type of move.
Nah, nah, nah.
You don't look like Joe Shane. I got a wild card for you. I know it's too early for a hot take, but I think there's somebody who plays for Philly who used to play for us might be feeling like, damn, I'm
Perhaps,
unhappy.
perhaps. I mean, we know that AJ Brown is not exactly thrilled over there.
Hmm.
Um,
And he see the Giants are starting to like change.
well, with Saquon, I think he did reach his ultimate goal, the goal of most football players. You would hope every football player to win a
Yeah,
Super Bowl
yeah, he got
and to
that.
have that financial security to take care of your
Right.
family for generations to come. But I do believe to a level that Saquon Barkley may reflect and be like, damn, man, things got better. But it's complicated because I
Yeah.
said it to you recently, or I think I said it to Corey actually on a recent show, that,
Mhm.
Dexter Lawrence saw a lot of favorites leave the building. Saquon Barkley was
Yeah.
among the top of that list. But
Yep.
something that I think needs to be considered is that when they didn't choose to pay Saquon, they paid you, Dexter.
Exactly.
And 2 years later, you're complaining? I'm like,
And it's not.
buddy,
It's not like they. It's not like they didn't want Saquon, but they had him. You had Daniel Jones. You had Saquon, and Joe Shane. I understood what he said. He doesn't want to pay a running back that much money, and he has a $40 million quarterback. I got what he was saying. He
And
wasn't throwing.
the thing with the $40 million quarterback wasn't like the kind of situation where they're like, oh, I'm so happy that we're paying him $40 million. It's
Right,
the tale of the market. I said it so many times in the past
right.
that the Deshaun Watson deal really busted up the market of
Hmm.
reasonability because Daniel Jones, while he's been very good at securing a lot of big bags, he's not in that upper crust of talent. He's somewhere in the middle. I'm happy
Right,
for his recent success. He's a good person. He works hard. But
right,
the reality is that if Dable and Shane, when they first came in 22, would have just picked up that extra year of a player option, none of that shit would have come to fruition. They could have paid
right,
Saquon. But now you
right.
have Cam Scatterbo, Tyrone Tracy, potentially Jeremiah Love. I do want to touch on Jeremiah Love before we move it along, Idris. Um, we know that there's a big trauma in this fan base with the idea of drafting a running back early. But you have
Right.
said it more times than anyone else on this panel that when we drafted Saquon, we didn't have the quarterback of the future. We didn't have a great offensive line. There were a lot of things this team didn't have.
Right.
Um, are you contemplating Jeremiah Love at 5 and getting the best defensive player available at 10?
I'll take it. I'll take it. Cause a guy like Jeremiah Love, you know, you don't see them often. You don't see those type of running backs that often, and not in these days. I would take him for the fact what we already have in the locker room, and I think with Jeremiah Love, that's like having a double barrel shotgun and someone bringing I don't know, a freaking bazooka.
Right.
So don't worry about it. I got something just in case this doesn't work.
And
And
listen,
I
I'm a
like
big
I
I'm
like
a
that
big scat
combination.
fan.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of scat, but I'm also a realistic person.
yeah,
Do I want Cam Scatterbo to be used the way that the Giants deployed him in year one, given the physical nature of his game? Because I'll tell you the truth. You bring in a
yeah.
Jeremiah Love, Cam Scatterbo becomes your number 2 back, and that becomes a Sonic and Knuckles situation, East Coast style.
Exactly, exactly. That's what I'm
And
saying.
when you consider, Mr. Salam, that not too many franchises would have those kind of talented running backs, both under rookie control, I think it's something that you at minimum have to explore. Now, the
And
Tennessee Titans could be in on him too.
and this is that, and that's exactly that's why I use the analogy of the shotgun and the bazooka. You got the shotgun already, that's Cam, but you got the bazooka now with Love, and
Yes, indeed.
I I like it because, like you said, we got him a rookie contract to where Scat is on a real cheap rookie deal because we got him so low.
Yeah, he
So
didn't go high in the draft. He was one of the 3 Giants that I successfully mocked to the team that came to fruition in the real draft. So, I also had Marcus Embo and Jackson Dart.
yeah, I figured I had picked Dart or Shuck. I can never get that guy's name right.
Yeah, I
Those are
know.
the two I had picked. I said one of them is coming to the Giants. But when I seen how Dart, I like, well, I don't know. Dart came from Ole Miss. I was like, hey, we're gonna grab Dart, and I'm glad we did. And see, I would love to have Jeremiah Love because look at the young core on offense we would have. We got Dart at quarterback, Scat in the backfield, Neighbors on the end, Love. We got 4 core players that haven't even learned how to play the game yet.
And there's another name I'm going to
I
throw
love
at
that.
you, Idris.
Yeah,
What would be interesting? Okay, so let's say hypothetically, if we go running back at 5 and bring in Jeremiah Love out of my favorite team, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Then at
yeah,
10, we get your favorite team, cornerback, Mansour
yeah.
Delane. That's a possibility too. I'm going to
I'll
drop
take it.
another name out of LSU that could potentially make sense.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Halsey. There's nothing better than familiarity. And if you get the safety and the corner playing together at the next level,
Ooh,
that makes sense too. I'm also a fan of Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He has
yeah.
a lot of traits that I like, but familiarity wins, and it's been a trend in the
Right.
NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles have done it, others have done it, where you keep going to the same schools and having these kids play together at the next level, which has turned out to actually be kind of invaluable.
You know what? I like that because as an LSU fan, I notice how, and it probably happens in other schools too, but I notice how when the Giants, when they really draft an LSU player or whatever, the LSU player that got drafted prior, they always show that support. If they always show that support, just like with uh, OBJ and Malik Mabry. It's like,
Now,
yo, man,
yeah, no, there's something to that, and it's interesting because you're talking about the preseason, getting ready for the real games, day to
mhm,
day practices, where
mhm,
they're going to take their time bringing back Leak, but it is kind of
yeah,
interesting to see iron sharpening iron, so to speak, as William Barn on Floyd
right,
said when he was a guest on our show, where you have
at all.
Mansour Delayed pressing
Uh
up
huh.
on Malik Neighbors, two LSU players.
I'll take it. And the thing about that is, if you got your corner and your safety, you bring them both from the same college, you bring them to the pros together. They know each other. They know each other's traits and habits, and they know each other's tendencies. So that right there helps because now they have to learn the playbook, and they can put what they know about each other into that playbook.
And that's
So
one of the big reasons why I also could see why Dexter Lawrence got dealt, because if you look at Harbaugh's
mhm,
philosophy, he
yeah,
values the back seven a lot more
oh
than the
yeah,
front four, or the back
yeah,
eight a lot more than the front three, depending on what kind of scheme you use. But I think you get where I'm going with that.
right, exactly. And that's why I like what he's doing. He's filling holes, but he's it's it just goes to show who's in charge.
Yes, indeed. And
Which
another
team?
thing,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you go finish your point now, and I got
Oh
something
no,
cooking here too.
no, because if you look at our organizations to where the coach has some say so, but to a point,
Right.
to where you got guys wearing suits who's making decisions who don't play the game.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that they're letting him do it. You can see it's his mark. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Idris,
I
I
think
hear you,
Shane,
bro.
I think Shane is gone next year, man. Maybe this year.
I
Who
don't
knows?
know. I think he might be gone before our first game in September, and I'm not even trying to be facetious about it.
That's what I'm saying. He might be out of there.
I liken Joe Shane to a guy that walks up to a casket to sing to praise somebody on a eulogy, and the whole funeral home disperses.
Yeah. Like, why is he here?
Right, that part. Changing gears, we're gonna flip it over to baseball for a minute here. New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Idris, yesterday was a long way coming, a long time coming to rejoice in seeing the bats explode. And I know there's a lot of variables as to why these things happen sometimes. But
Yeah.
when you have Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton both together have very quiet games, and you get contributions from a utility man who's
Right.
not known for his glove, and Ahmed Rosario, 3 RBIs, Cody Bellinger, 5 RBIs.
Yep.
Jazz Chisholm still isn't hitting. And I guess my real only question right now,
Hmm.
Will Warren, 11 Ks. He looks sharp. And that's your number 5 starter when everybody returns. When everybody's healthy, he's your number 5. And that man just fanned 11 guys yesterday, uh, showing why the Yankees have been patient with his development. I think Ryan Weathers, he
Hmm.
has swing and miss stuff, but I don't think he's starter material. Similar to
Nah.
his dad, who played with the Yankees, a bullpen arm.
Right.
I think
Right.
Luis Gil could play the Ramiro Mendoza role going into the pen. Another
Hmm.
long relief guy. We need Duvall to get it together. He's struggling a little. Bednar, like Corey says, he's a bulldog. I like Bednar in that ninth inning role a lot better than I did Devin Williams or Clay Holmes.
Oh, yeah. Like I said off air, great win yesterday. The home fans needed that.
Yes, they did
That
for the morale boost of it. And today, if they play the game, it's raining right now in the Bronx.
yeah,
If they
yeah,
play today, Yankees are going for a sweep.
yeah, and and that'd be great to have a sweep. The home fans need that
No
because
doubt.
we've been on a poor spot. We look horrible at home. We look
No
horrible
doubt.
at home. So that was for us. That was for us. That's for the whole those in New York and us New Yorkers who live in Florida, North Carolina, Washington State. That was for us because we're no matter where we live in the world, we are all in the Bronx when it comes to Yankee baseball. That was for us, and I'm so grateful for what they gave us, and we did it without our big boys, really showing out.
Yeah,
I
outside of
love
Ben
that.
Rice, who I think is ascending into quote unquote a big boy, because
Yeah.
what what he's been able to do, what
That's Noah's
what
boy,
Ben
right?
Rice has been. Yeah, Noah loves Ben Rice.
Yeah, that's Noah's boy.
Noah
Yeah,
jumped on the Ben Rice train before it was cool.
he did. I know. That's
But
Noah's
the
boy.
thing with Ben Rice that really impresses me, truly,
Yeah,
truly impresses me, is that he's doing it in a way where he's embracing the blessing. What do I mean by that? You
yeah,
get to hit behind Aaron Judge in certain days because
right.
Aaron Judge kind of goes up and down between the 2 and 3 spots.
Yeah,
But hitting cleanup in the Yankee lineup is truly a blessing for a young player because you get a lot of opportunities. We talked
it,
about
it,
Saquon possibly having some regrets down the road. You want to talk about regrets and regrets? How about Juan
oh,
Soto? I mean, I get it.
Soto.
He's hurt. He's not even part of this mess right now.
But
But
that's
the
the
New
bad
York
part about
Mets,
it. That's the part that hurts the most because you're hurt. You can't do nothing about it.
well, I kind of like that for him.
Oh,
He has
that's
to
what I'm
witness
saying.
this. Yeah,
Oh
he
yeah,
got to
me.
witness this.
Don't get it twisted. I'm with you. I'm not. Hey,
It's comical to a level, I must admit. And listen, it's not the kind of stuff where it's like I wake up and I'm toxic and I wish the New York Mets bad because it's really not like that with me.
no.
But the thing is, Idris, it's some of the fans. These
Oh
fans
my
talk
God.
so much hella shit only to
You
be
know
that.
what,
I mean, dude, a 10-game losing streak? A
dude? They are
10-game
just like
losing streak.
they're just like Brooklyn Nets fans. Like, dude, you guys haven't won anything.
I had more respect for Nets fans when they were in Jersey. I wasn't around
Yes.
for the ABA when they played in Long Island back in the day. That's a different breed of Net fan, and those are real
I
Net
remember,
fans. So
dude,
I'm going to
I
just leave
remember
that
that.
there.
I
Shouts
remember
out
them.
Mark Teran. Shouts out Mark Teran, a real Net fan.
Hey, those the Nets fans back then. I remember them. I was a kid, but I remember them. They were cool. They were cool. They didn't. They weren't like this set of Net fans now. And it's just like the Mets fans back then. They was like I remember the 80, I remember the whole '86. I remember the Mets going back to freaking '70. I remember actually the '69 is vaguely, but I do remember it. This set of Mets fans, unbelievable.
Now I'm not gonna name drop anybody because a lot of these
Yeah,
people are good Giant fans, but there's different ways of how you become a Giants fan. Say if
yeah,
you're from New Jersey and you love the
right,
Devils and maybe you still rock with the Nets or whatever have you,
right,
and obviously the Yankees are the closest team to you, just the bridge separates it.
right.
I can understand that. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say it like this: when it comes to New Jersey fans,
yeah.
or let's just say people that don't root for the Mets and the Knicks. I'm not even going to mess with Jet fans. I'm going to leave them alone. People
Yeah,
that don't root for the Yankees or Knicks, sometimes I am convinced that they are more invested in their failures
yeah.
than they are in their own team's success.
They might be, man. They might be. It's hysterical, man. They might be.
I saw somebody last year after we were eliminated by the Blue Jays when people said he hit at such a high metric, Aaron Judge. He had such a good series. It's not enough. I'm not going to name drop. I'm just
Right.
going to say, like, this is the level of all of it because I could not. This is my thing. If you're a Met fan, but you
Hmm.
make fun of the New York Knicks and
Yeah.
you talk about droughts, it's one and the same.
Yeah.
The difference is, at least in my opinion, is that the Knicks captivate a city in the way the Mets haven't been able to do since 1986.
Exactly. No
Because
matter
you
what's
say
going
what
on.
you want. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, quite like watching a playoff game when the Rangers or the Knicks are really good.
exactly. You know something? They both fill the Garden, whether in first place or last place.
And listen, I take nothing away from the 86 Mets. I have been humble and I have said, in terms of single season teams, the
That was a
86
great.
Mets were all that and then some. They had a swagger to them,
That was,
they had
that
an
was a great
attitude to
team.
them.
That was a great team. I'm not gonna
They
lie.
were
I watched.
they were must see TV
They were.
back then, and I will give them that.
Yeah.
But when you're talking only 2 World Series appearances since that team, and the
One of them,
the
one of them against the
last
team
New
that
York
we had.
team, the last New York team to win a championship inside of a stadium that is the Mets place was Shea at the time was the New York Yankees.
Okay.
Now, yes, this is a drought that we're not happy about. This is the longest drought in my lifetime, longer than the first one in '96.
Same thing for me. Yeah.
But it's not, and while we can bitch, moan, and complain about Howell and Cash, and if the standard is the same with George or the late Hank Steinbrenner, one of his sons, who I really liked him more than Howell, to be honest. The point is, the propensity for the New York Yankees to get into the playoffs on the regular basis that they do will be appreciated a lot more down the road, because part of the problem is that when you're a frequenter and you're not getting it done at meaning winning a world championship, you're actually messed with more than a team like Boston, who makes it once every 3 to 4 years, but might have a little more hardware recently. And that's just something that is kind of crazy, because getting there every year and not having a losing season since the early 90s, it's crazy to me how much ridicule this organization gets. Now, I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm going to get on Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman's ass.
Yeah.
But outsiders getting on them? I'm like, are y'all kidding me right now?
You know something? And unlike a lot of other teams that say, man, we made the playoffs. The Yankee fans, the playoffs tonight, we don't even think about. No, it's ALCS, World Series. We don't. We make the playoffs. We don't have losing records. We make so the playoff is not our standard. Our standard is higher. Our standard is higher. If we don't get to the ALCS, if we don't get to the World Series, the season is shot. That's the mentality of a New York Yankee fan. It's
No,
win
I tend to
or
agree, Idris. I tend to agree. Now, I'll be the first to admit this. I said it on a recent show, but I'll refresh you with what I said, because I always like to keep the convo fluid with everybody that comes here.
Yeah.
Ryan McMahon, we know all about his struggles. He played the Hero a couple nights ago, which was good for him. But there's been a third base issue with these New York Yankees for a while now. Going back to Gio Urshela trade, you bring in the washed-up Josh Donaldson, who also was a bit of an asshole.
Golly. Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm no Tim Anderson fan, but that was just stupid.
That was Donaldson.
That was just stupid. And then, Oswaldo Cabrera right now is not on the main club. You go back to 2024, Jazz Chisholm Jr., brand new Yankee. He was down to do whatever was asked because he was brand new. He played third while Glaber played second. Glaber was not willing to move to third as Aaron Boone wanted.
Right.
But I'd much rather have Torres and Jazz manning down second and third, respectively, than what we got right now. And listen, I love Ahmed Rosario's bat.
Yeah.
I also think it's kind of comical. I'm not going to name drop. That a certain fan was like, oh, it's somebody who doesn't like the Yankees. Oh, he wouldn't flourish over there. Flourish? He's hit. I know you. He's hit everywhere he's played.
Right.
He's hit everywhere he's played. He just hasn't been able to get all the playing time because of his poor fielding. And I like Ahmed Rosario. I mean, Doug, in the video game, in a recent season I completed, Ahmed Rosario had over 200 hits, which actually was slightly more than Aaron Judge in my season. The man could hit.
Yeah, and see, that's what you don't understand. You could be a great hitter, but if you can't field, you have to be able to field. Now, if you're getting once you get an old age, 37, 38, okay, they just DH you, say, okay, move you to first base or something like that, whatever. But if you can't field, you can't get on the field to bat.
And he's been getting action because I am a believer that practice makes perfect. And just because you have
Yeah,
a reputation of not being good with the glove, if you're on a nice little hitting tear, and if you're
yeah,
you're doing your job there, you gotta take the good with the bad. And I think that's what the
yeah,
Yankees are doing, and that's why you're getting more action looking at Ahmed Rosario. Because let's say, okay, just paint a picture for you. If
yeah.
Rosario has like three at bats
Hmm.
and he's having a good game and the Yankees have a comfortable lead, then maybe in
Yeah,
the sixth or seventh, you call Ryan McMahon to come in the game because you know that he's going
yeah.
to man it down at third.
Right. I can see
There
that.
are ways to work with deficiencies in every club. That's why when I
Yeah.
tell people, and I'll be honest with you, I said this to Corey off air. I am not the
Hmm.
biggest Aaron Boone fan. However, Aaron
Hmm.
Boone has not done anything too egregious this year to really piss me off. There's a couple of little things
Yeah,
I would have done differently, but I
yeah.
understand the theory behind it. Like, for instance, super recently, he had JC Ascara bat in a game on the line. It's
Hmm.
not the percentage move, but sometimes you put players in these situations because if it goes their way, it builds confidence. So I
Right.
understand that. Or even like a Jose Caballero when I wanted Rosario to pinch hit for him.
Yeah.
Bone's like, I'm going to try to work on this guy's confidence because when you start having guys believe that they can be put in different situations to succeed, it's a good morale boost all around that clubhouse and it's
Yep.
contagious.
Yep. Yes, sir. I agree 100% on that.
But one
Listen,
thing
young.
that Corey made a point on in the recent show, and then we're going to
Hmm.
move it along to the Knicks, but I do want to hit on this.
Hmm.
Corey basically said that the Yankees, if you look around Major League Baseball, they're pretty much doing what everybody else is doing, except for the Dodgers and the Braves. The Braves are quietly really playing good baseball despite Ronald Acuna's slow start.
Yeah.
Their catcher, Baldwin, he is a beast. And
Yeah.
the Atlanta Braves were a team that I thought was going to challenge the Mets for the NL East
I
crown.
did too. I did
But
too.
the Mets, man, what they're
Whew.
going through right now, it's not that you can't recover from it because it's still early, but my goodness, this is really bad for them.
But the thing about it is, and it's in both East divisions. The thing about the AL East and the NL East, if you get behind, you're in trouble because both divisions are top heavy. You got the Braves, you got the Phillies. They're sitting
The
right there.
Marlins have even
The
shown
Marlins,
some gusto
and who the
this
hell
year
are
that
what
they
are the
can hang
Marlins
around
doing?
this year. The Marlins can
Right,
hang around this year.
right. So that's three teams right there that you're fighting against. You
I
know,
would have to say, Idris, that the two biggest disappointments in the early going of MLB, I'll give you a team from each league. We
hmm
already said the Mets, that goes without saying. But in
yeah.
the American League, it's the Seattle Mariners.
Woo,
The Toronto
dude.
Blue Jays are kind of thankful that the Mariners are sucking so bad because we might be talking about the Blue Jays.
Yeah, because the Mariners are supposed to be in first place, dude.
The
They should
Blue
be in
Jays
first
have an
place.
excuse. At least the Blue Jays
Yeah,
have an excuse because one of their terrific arms is actually not up on the big club yet. He's doing rehab
yeah,
assignments, talking about Trey Savage. I
yeah.
think the Blue Jays will figure it out along the way.
Well,
But
they will,
as far as the Mariners go,
dude.
man, oh man,
The Mariners are supposed to be in first place for three game lead at minimum.
yeah.
That's what they're supposed to be right now.
When you comb through rosters and you talk about the best pitching staffs just on paper alone, the Mariners are supposed to be in a much better position. Shout out to Zappy's Texas Rangers as they're kind of the best of a very competitive West right now. And I got news for you: the Los Angeles Angels look like they could hang around this year.
But let me ask you this: what about the A's, dude?
The A's have been
So
hanging.
they don't even have a
Now,
home
this
in
is a
this.
team that has a very, very distinct disadvantage for any and all home games.
Yes, they're in first place. I mean, it's early. I think they're like 2 games up on Seattle. I think there's like 11 wins
I
to
mean,
Seattle.
sweeping out the Mets doesn't look nearly as impressive because of the Mets' struggles, but taking 2 out of 3 in the Bronx from the Yankees was
Right,
impressive.
right,
Damn near no hitting the Yankees were not for Ben Rice.
right.
No,
Cracked
they
out.
got my respect right now, and it's early. You're gonna because
It's
I
early.
notice that a lot of times in the month of April or early May, you have no hitters or games that are almost no hitters because at
Yeah.
that juncture of the year, more than any other time, pitching is way ahead of hitting.
Oh yeah, because you don't have the timing down yet. You know.
No, sir. There's a lot of variables, and even historically in baseball, and this goes without saying. If
Yeah.
you succeed 33% of the time or better, you are among the best offensive weapons in baseball. But that's still over 75% of the time that the
Mm-hmm.
pitching wins. And it says
Because you know,
everything just about the way the layout of the game is.
yeah, because see what pitching to say you're a knuckleballer. You know your pitches.
Of
You
course.
practice them. You know your pitches. To where with a hitter, you're trying to get the timing down to someone who's a knuckleballer, a fastball pitcher, someone who's real good with it. Various pitches with various different pitches. So you're trying to get your timing down. Like, okay, it's a slider, it's a fastball, it's a screwball. You don't see the screwball that much, but you know what I mean. You're trying to get your timing down. So the pitcher's usually going to win. Because he's like, yeah, I know what I'm throwing. My catcher knows what I'm throwing. But you don't know.
No,
Because
that's a
you're
good
timing
point, Idris. That's a good
you know?
point.
Yeah.
That's a
But
really good point.
once they get used to being back in the batter's box and seeing, okay, yeah, I know, yes, it's what's his face. Yeah, okay. He's gonna throw. Oh, you know, they get their form. It's the body mechanics. Everything comes together. You
Yes,
know.
indeed.
Then you start seeing, I hit your ass now and knock you for 5 home runs. Throw that knuckleball again. That little 70 mile per hour pitch. Throw it again. But yeah, um, I think next month we'll start seeing, yeah, the cream will start rising to the top.
I I tend to agree. I think, as the weather gets warmer, it's historically
Yeah,
proven
yeah,
that the
yeah,
hitters do perform at a better level. That goes without saying. But I will say this: I am ever so pleased with game one yesterday.
yeah.
Look how happy that guy is.
Hey.
This was pregame. This was pregame.
Oh, that was pregame. Oh,
Yeah. Listen, listen. The Knicks got me a little nervous yesterday because it wasn't the cleanest kind of game. It
yeah. The
really
finish
wasn't
was
the cleanest kind of game.
the finish was not clean. You're right
No,
about
the
that.
finish wasn't clean. Jalen Brunson coming out of the gates was just a man possessed. There was no stopping him yesterday.
Nah,
I am proud of Karl Anthony Towns for weathering the storm on a day where he was frustrated that he wasn't getting a lot of whistles, but he didn't deter rather from the plan. He
right.
kept going, and by being that player, the unselfish guy, he had some blocks.
Yeah,
He was perfect from the free throw line. That was huge.
yeah.
And getting Atlanta in the penalty. Atlanta made a mistake, in my opinion, by
Hmm.
by by deploying the Hackamitch a little too early,
Yeah, yeah.
because the Hackamitch, in my opinion, really set them up to be in trouble with free throws later in that quarter.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I think Atlanta didn't really think it through because Mitchell Robinson is always going to be like a risk and a reward kind of deal because of his issues at the free throw
Yeah.
line that are not going anywhere, unfortunately.
Right.
But all in all, high intensity game. I give the Hawks credit for every time it seemed like the Knicks had an 8-point lead, the Hawks kept storming back, and it was very frustrating.
Yeah, but you know
But
what? The Hawks, they've been giving us a hard time for a good little while. Even when Trey Young was there, they always seem to harass us. You
well, I
know.
got news for you. This particular Hawks team, in my very humble opinion, is
Hmm.
better than any of those Trey Young teams. And
Oh,
this is a
much better.
team that the Knicks absolutely, and I really mean absolutely, have to lock in completely, particularly in these home games, because
CJ
the
McCollum.
slightest, the
Mhm.
slightest complacency could really put the Knicks up against the wall. They got to win their home games here. That's why you fight in the regular season to get home advantage.
Yeah, CJ McCollum is the difference. He's
Yes,
not Trey
indeed.
Young. CJ McCollum is a seasoned veteran. He's been there when he's at Portland. He's been there. He knows how to ball. He knows how to lead. He plays defense. He plays offense. So that's the difference. Trey Young, great dribbler, hell of a shooter, but he could not defend. He couldn't defend worth. He couldn't defend his life.
No, I agree with you
So,
completely on that, Idris. I really do. I really
but we
do.
got.
And
We have to win at home. We have to win at home. We can't let Atlanta get no momentum. None.
yeah, I'm with you on that. Also around the league, um, not the biggest LeBron fan. However, a real gutsy performance last night by the King, taking advantage, smelling blood in the water. When about an hour and a half before tip off, we found out that Kevin Durant dinged up his knee and really evened out the playing field.
Hmm.
And you talk about an unsung hero in last night's game. That really shocked me. But LeBron, facilitating 13 assists, 19 points. That's your player of the game, regardless of the scoring value
Yeah.
of
The Rockets.
anybody else on the Lakers. That was a hell of a performance by LeBron. And the Rockets without KD don't even look remotely
Mhm.
like the same team. So KD needs to get back soon, or else the Lakers are going to find a way to win this series.
Yeah. Yeah. If he doesn't get back in there, it's over. It's over. They got to take one in LA. They have to take one in LA. I don't know.
Idris, could you please
Yeah.
pull me up a score of that Boston Celtics game? They're currently playing the Sixers. First game of
Yes, I
four
got
today.
it. It is. I just saw it too. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I literally just had it too. They were up when last I looked. It was 60. Oh yeah, 64-46 halftime.
Ooh, that's an 18-point spread in favor of the Celtics.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got the Celtics winning that series in five. My
yeah,
predictions for the rest of the day, I think the Orlando Magic, unfortunately, are going to get opened up by the Pistons. I got the Pistons winning by 20. I
yeah.
think the Portland Trailblazers are going to have a respectable game one, hang around with the Spurs, but I got the Spurs winning, I believe, by 9.
Mm.
And I think I had the Celtics winning by 14 or better, but it looks like it's trending upward. I like all the home teams today, all the higher seeded teams today. The one game I did get wrong yesterday was the
Mhm.
Lakers and the Rockets, but I also thought KD was going to play.
I did too. Of course, Embiid is not playing for Philly. Well, I
The
mean,
guy who had the audacity to compare himself to Patrick Ewing.
yeah, and I know this wasn't on the roster. I do want to speak about guys like Embiid, and yes, when he's healthy and on, the guy can ball, no
No
doubt. The
doubt
guy can.
about it, Idris. No doubt about it.
However, guys like him, if I had to vote Hall of Fame, no. I'll say if there's a lot of guys in this era, and I'm not hating, but there's a lot of guys in this era I would not vote Hall of Fame first ballot, even though people may feel it. He's one because yes, you're a great player, but so was Harold Miner, but he couldn't stay on the court. There's a lot of
Harold
great players who were
Miner.
great. Yes, a lot of great players who were great but couldn't stay on the court. This guy cannot stay. Remember, he lost his whole first season. This guy cannot stay on the court when you need him.
And then with the
So I'm like,
Bills Ballsy situation, which is
yeah.
definitely difficult. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Oh no, no,
But
no.
but I gotta say, man, it's a complicated one with Joel Embiid because he's
Mm.
done so many big things over the years. But I
It-
just, for the life of me, cannot figure out why this man doesn't call it a career.
for real. Remember Greg Oden? He tried. He's like, I can't do it. Yeah, Greg Oden. There's a lot of players that just couldn't do it anymore. I mean, he might as well. I mean, because if you can't show, and it's not a knock on Embiid. It really is because he has the ball palsy, and he had knee injury when he came in. Okay, I mean, and I'm not knocking him. I'm talking about you have to be what the best availability.
Mhm.
You have to be available, and he's not available. They need him right now against
Indeed, they do.
Boston, but he's not there, and it's all the time. I would just say, look, I call it a career, man, and think about your life 5, 10 years from now. Call it a career, man.
Something that I always find cool at the Garden, and this is my closing thought. I talked
Mhm.
about how the energy in that building is second to none in terms of NBA playoff games. Now you have
Right.
loud places. I remember the old Key Arena in Seattle. OKC
Woo!
makes a lot of noise. I
I've
remember
been
the
to
old
that.
Chicago Stadium had their ambiance to it. Of course, the Boston Garden is legendary, the original Boston Garden.
Original game. Yeah.
The LA Forum.
Yeah.
There are lots of places, but I'm sorry when you got all these old Knicks in the house, not to mention Celebrity Row. It's
Yeah.
just a different kind of feel.
Different. And it's different from LA because yeah, LA, you see the celebrities that they chilling, but in New York, and I'm not, we're New Yorkers, even though we're not New York, and we're still New Yorkers at heart. But that New York energy is different because the stars are not just sitting there. The stars are interacting. They're getting pumped. They're hyping up. They're part of the crowd.
It was
But that's
cool to see John Leguizamo as the
yes,
very first seat next to the Knicks bench.
that's my dude, man. That's my dude. And so that's what I'm saying. New York energy, and I'm not stroking New York. Say I knew. If New York energy is different than any other energy, New York is different. And anyone who wants to go to a game, LA has their thing, no doubt. Boston Garden is Boston Garden, but there's nothing like the Mecca. There's
No,
nothing
and
like
you could ask people like Reggie Miller, like
that's
Michael
it.
Jordan, like
Yeah,
current Laker LeBron James.
LeBron James. They'll tell you it's a different thing. Allen Iverson said it. Steph Curry said that. They all say the same thing. You haven't done nothing until you balled at the Garden. That's why they keep that record. The most points scored at the Garden because the Garden is that spot.
Crisis averted
Magic.
yesterday when OG Anunoby. I got worried because he's had a bad luck run of getting hurt in the playoffs.
Yes,
And
yes.
when I saw that ankle roll, I was like, no, no, no. And
Yeah. Oh,
Jalen Brunson, that was a dirty play where he
oh,
got
dude.
kicked in it. Yeah, that was dirty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that definitely threw off his game for a little while because he was scorching hot coming out of that first half.
Yeah, and I don't, and just to go at the media, and I know we up against the time. The media, y'all shut up saying how Jalen Brunson, trade Jalen Brunson, man. He's a testament to the team. Da 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 da. Blah blah blah. Y'all be quiet. We know some of the load should come off with Jalen Brunson's back. We all know that. But however, he's doing it because no one else is doing it. If he's
In
not putting
terms
up,
of doing it in the postseason,
yeah,
and sorry, Mello, I'm going to jump over you because you never played in high stakes games like the guys I'm
nope,
mentioning. But
nope, he was hurt.
Jalen
Hmm.
Brunson is doing it at a level as pick your best Knicks scorer or just Knicks force. And I'm talking, of course, about previous captain Patrick Ewing.
Yeah,
And truthfully, if Jalen Brunson helps the Knicks raise a banner during his Knick tenure, and of course, I want more than one, but if it starts at one, I
yeah.
do believe, Idris, that he will go down as the greatest New York Knick of all time.
I think so too because of the fact how he took over the game. We had Clyde, we had Earl Monroe, we had Dick Barnett, we had Willis, we had all of that. But when we think about those Knick teams, the championship teams, we think about them as a collective unit. Willis Reed,
No,
Will, I mean,
absolutely. And then you have a bunch of what ifs. What
yeah,
if
Phil
Bernard King's
Jackson,
knees didn't give in? What if
yeah,
Patrick Ewing didn't break his wrist?
right. To where if you
What if
look at
Amare Stoudemire didn't have all those knee injuries? There's just so many what ifs surrounding this organization.
but if you look at Jalen Brunson, it's like, what did this guy do? He led them to the championship. You take
Absolutely,
him off
bro.
that, you take him off the team, we might be a 7th seed.
No, I couldn't imagine this team without Jalen Brunson. I will always respect what Julius Randle did for this organization because
Yeah,
he brought the Knicks back to the forefront where people wanted to come here. And even though things didn't end well for Julius Randle, he has my utmost respect and I always wish him well. I got
Yeah.
the Minnesota Timberwolves losing that series close, but I am pulling for the Timberwolves. There's one player that I want to see back on the Knicks, and I think it still could come to fruition. I want that fourth Nova Cat back. I want Dante DiVincenzo back on this roster. And there's one Nick that
Mhm.
maybe I'm being a little too hard on him, but there's one guy that I want to extract off this rotation, and that's Miles McBride.
You mean McCall? Yeah. Oh yeah, McBride. I'm thinking about Bridges. Yeah. Where is he?
I want to see. I
Where
want
is
to
McBride?
Deuce McBride is getting under my skin. I put it to you like that. I want to see Jose Alvarado get those minutes.
Me too. Because I'm like, where's McBride? You know, I forgot he was on the team for real. I mean, literally, I forgot he was on
I
the
want
team.
to. Nah, he was really getting under me yesterday. Poor shots, just
Yeah,
and Cat played a good game. But if there's one thing I got to poke at Cat about yesterday, he's got to make better outlet passes.
he does, man. That little one hand Michael Jordan clean thing. He's not
No
doing that.
disrespect, but you're not Kevin Love.
You're not Kevin Love, dude. You're not Kevin Love.
Until next time, he is Idris. I am
Yeah.
Richie. NFL draft is steady approaching. We're going to be getting on for the mock draft show very soon. Mike Zappi, holla at your boy. I know that he wants to be a part of that too. I think we're going to do a couple of different draft shows today when I got on the agenda. Finish some of this laundry, and I'm going to go meet out with our buddy, Ryan Shed. And don't be surprised if you see me and Shed go live talking a little
Hey.
bit about the happenings in the NFL. And last question, Idris.
Yeah.
Last question. Do
Yeah.
you think possibly that
Mhm.
there will be another pre-draft trade to jump in front of maybe Tennessee, maybe the Giants, maybe whoever in those top four spots? Because the Dallas Cowboys, I think, could be up to something.
I think so because Tennessee doesn't need a quarterback, so they can parlay that pick they had.
I do think Tennessee very much so could be interested in either Styles or Love. We'll
Yeah.
see how it plays out. I have a feeling that they're high on Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, they'll either parlay that pick sooner or they'll make a draft day pick, but I don't think they're going to stay where they're sitting. I think they're going
No,
to
not at
parlay.
all.
Yeah.
It's going to be
You got to
interesting. I'm really excited about this draft. This is one of the most
think
meaningful
about
drafts in a very long time.
who their OC and who their DC is. They're going to make it. They're going to make a move. You got Davis as the OC, and you got Salah as the DC. I mean, Salah's the thing. Yeah. No, Salah's the coach, right? Or is he the DC?
Yeah. Saleh got the coach.
Yeah, he got the coach, right?
It's essentially a 1A, 1B kind of deal.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Two guys that, for a litany of reasons, didn't get it done in MetLife Stadium, but two guys that I think working together as a team could actually have some good success.
And they get to do this, like with Salah in Tennessee. I'm pretty sure they gave him like, "Hey, this is you. We're not going to be messing with you because he's the coach, and you know he's going to have some say so about the
And it's
defense."
obviously that Dable has power there because
Yeah,
just the influx of former Giants players that have gone to Tennessee proves to me that Brian Dable definitely has more than just a slight little voice in that room.
yeah. So that's what I mean. Tennessee's going to come. They're on the come up because Cam Ward looked pretty good coming towards the end of the season. He didn't have anything. He didn't have anything to play with. But
No,
I like Cam Ward. I like him. I know we got to close. I like Cam Ward because through all that bullshit he went through, he kept his head up. He said, "Look, we got to do better. I got to do better. Let's keep moving. We're going to do this."
no, I wholeheartedly believe that the Tennessee Titans in a couple of years are going to be a very good team again.
Yeah.
Last thing. This is really the last thing. We've been exhausting this topic. Mike Vrabel, Idris. Mike Vrabel. Is the NFL gonna get involved in any way, or is this just gonna be one of those sweep it under the rug deals?
The last thing I saw Friday, they said something like the NFL is not going to punish Vrabel. Now, I'm not a Patriot hater. There's no reason for me a Patriot hater because we beat their ass twice in the Super Bowl. So I'm not a Patriot hater. However, it's getting kind of crazy that shit comes out of New England and it just gets slipped under the rug.
And I'm
You
not
know.
just gonna specifically keep that on New England. I think that this is
It's the NFL problem.
literally a double standard kind of deal. I'm not defending either party. I'm just saying that, we've seen it in the past. Watch that Brett Favre doc.
Oh, word. Yeah.
And Ben Roethlisberger, I totally believe he's a much better version and person than he was younger.
Yeah.
But Kobe Bryant got jacked, got ripped off out of multiple MVPs during the course of his career. No knock on you, Steve Nash,
Right.
but we all know why, because of an allegation.
Right.
Ben Roethlisberger had two of those allegations that, in my genuine opinion, have a lot more merit than what they were trying to hone in on Kobe for. Just my
Yeah.
opinion. Doesn't make me right or wrong. I wasn't there. Nobody knows except the parties.
I agree on that. You know why? Because the only one that knows what happened in the Kobe thing is Kobe and the girls. Well, Ben's thing, remember, he was in a room and his bodyguards were standing right outside the door.
Yes, that was a weird look. And I wholeheartedly believe that the only thing Kobe Bryant was guilty of was infidelity.
That's it.
But, I'm not condoning it either, and whatever have you. But double standards in certain metrics for sure. Because the kind of support, and we've heard this from Pittsburgh legends who do podcasting. This is not just two talking heads that love football, Idris and myself. Right. You have guys that were in those wars during the Ben Roethlisberger era that said that he was not a good teammate for a litany of reasons. And with some of the stuff that went down with him, there is a word that starts with an E, and it's called entitlement.
Right on, right on.
And that's all I got for today. And yes, Antonio Brown is out of his goddamn mind, but that doesn't mean that he was wrong about Ben.
Right. Hey, that last thing, promise. Last thing. Mike Zappi, I love you, bro. Come back to the show, man.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. Well, we're going to figure this out as it continues to move along. Perhaps after we really blow up, ESPN will want to do a video similar to what Kobe and Shaq did when they were reflecting. But don't worry, I'm a lot more Phil Jackson than Del Harris, and we're going to get this shit working. If you haven't already, please make it a point to like and subscribe to the channel. The Richie X Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. Idris has 3 albums out right now. Idris, talk to the people about your albums right now, please.
Okay, I got Old Man Energy 1 and 2. Old Man Energy 1 is straight hip hop. If you like the traditional hip hop skills, then there's no gun play in it. There's no selling no booty. It's none of that stuff. It's all skills. Get Old Man Energy 1. You can find
Lyricism.
Lyricism. Yeah, you can find it on iHeart, anywhere you want to go. You can also get Old Man Energy 2, Jazzmatical, all jazz. All jazz, you can listen to a Sunday, kick back, relax, smoke your weed. Tomorrow, 420, get the album today, listen to it tomorrow. And I also got Babylon America out on Bandcamp, BANDCAMP, Big Bosco Production. Check it out. It's more social things. Some people may be offended, but it's talk about more of what's going on right now. Cop all 3 albums. Number 4 is coming out. We just finished it. It comes out Friday. It's called The Dirtiest Rap Album Ever Made. It's what it said. The album is what it says. It's the dirtiest rap album ever made. So nobody dies in it, but there's a lot of stuff, a lot of X-rated stuff. I'm just the producer, y'all. But it drops Friday, April 24th. The dirtiest rap album ever made. That's the name.
I like how he's like, I'm just the producer, y'all. That's like going to Van Nuys and some guy's looking for his wife. He's like, hey, man, I'm just a cameraman.
I'm just a cameraman, that's all. I'm just a producer, man.
Mock draft show coming very soon. Announcements to come for that. I'm going to get inside, see if these Yankees are going to get on the field today. Yeah. And we are out for now. Enjoy your Sunday. And look for me a little bit later. Shed and I might be returning as I'm going to go link up with Shed for a little while, who's visiting Florida. Idris, have a great rest of your day, bro. Much love.
And that was really the last thing.
We out.